on, everybody? You are tuned in right now to another episode of Binge Buddies. I am your host and producer for the day, Tony. And it is a solo dolo show of Tony, dude, if you know what I mean, on this beautiful Friday evening. So glad you guys could join us. We have a lot to get to. You see it in the title. Mickey 17 review today. Watching some trailers, some rapid fire news as well, coming hot at you. Phone lines are open, 646-285-1259, ready to talk about anything, honestly, of what you're watching, how you're feeling, how your weekend seems to be panning out, dude. And boy, do we have some comments to get to. First, before we get into it, like I said, jam-packed show, dude. Josh B says, yo, fam, what is good, dude? Not much, Josh B. Excited to be here. Hope you're having a great Friday as well, away from corporate America. The weekend has started. Speaking of which, we have a drink of the day, dude. It is our Friday night, so we have a drink during the show. This drink right here, bang, we're going to get nice, tight, and personal. We have a little Corona Extra here today, not to be confused with Corona Light, okay? So we'll be sporting these this evening. I'm pretty freaking stoked about it. Because they're refreshing, honestly. Lime, no lime, whatever. They're in a can, disposable. I really enjoy it. So, yeah, dude, let's enjoy it. These Coronas actually hail from Manhattan, so they're a little bit extra enjoyable here. There we go, dude. Let's get some more comments here. Josh B, classic Tony and Manny. Marco in here is time for Binge Buddies. Brothers, my mother says, hello, Aunt. Hi, Mom. Hope you had a great day. Michael Theophil says, let's go, dude. Marco says, Tony Spicy. Josh B, just Tony. Marco says, Michael Spicy. And then just Tony, he says, is Boo. Boo, he says, for just Tony, which is pretty fucked up if you ask me, dude. But we have a couple movies on in the studio. Obviously, I want to get to first. Top left of your screen, you'll see Charlie's Angels Full Throttle, a little Friday night action, dude. Obviously, paying homage. Demi Moore, The Substance, Lost. She didn't deserve to lose, but, you know, Mickey, what's your name, deserved to win, I would say. But in any case, you also have Willy Wonka next to it, dude. That's been on all day. Which has been great, dude. It's been better, honestly, having Willy Wonka in the studio. To be honest, I've had The Departed on all week with the volume up. So it's been a quite depressing week here at the studio watching The Departed every day, all day. Keith in here says, with a new profile picture for YouTube, looking great, dude. He says, Binge Buddies, let's go. Absolutely. Marco says, classic movies. Marco's going to be put in timeout for saying just Tony Boo, by the way. I'm going to put Marco in timeout. Hold on, stand by. I know how to do that. Let's put user in timeout. Marco's in timeout. Ha, ha, ha. Just for that, dude. I'll see you in about 5 to 10 minutes, buddy. We have so much to get to. Like I was saying earlier, we have the Mickey 17 review. Tommy Donovan in here, hyped for the skinny Ronas, dude. Obviously, normally get the Rona, not to be confused with the coronavirus, the Corona beer. Again, Corona Extra, not to be confused with Corona Light or the coronavirus. This is Corona Extra. In the can, again, I prefer the bottle with the lime, but, you know, you get what you can get. Definitely a bit more convenient, I guess, practical use of the can. In any case, let's get right to it. Down into the dirty business here. That's right. That's right, Marco. Okay, we fucking Friday. We mean business here. All right, let's get to Mickey 17. New movie that's out there. Literally came out last night. I watched it. Pretty, I guess it was highly touted. It was an anticipated movie for this year coming up. Specifically because of who directed it, not just because of who was starring in it, Robert Pattinson, obviously, but Bong Joon-ho was the director. He probably is most famous for Parasite, even though he has many other movies. But Parasite won Best Picture, I don't know, 2 years ago at the Oscars? Maybe 2 years ago at the Oscars, I think. Maybe last year? Kind of forget, to be honest. But in any case, you know, it's kind of like, I don't know if it is his direct follow-up, honestly, from Parasite, but at least a bigger one, dude. And then speaking of bigger, the budget for this film was $118 million. Yes, that's right. 118 million, which means this movie needs to make somewhere around 300 million to be profitable, which is pretty outrageous. It's slated so far this weekend to earn about 54, maybe 45. I got my numbers mixed. I'm dyslexic, perhaps. 45 million this weekend. I don't know, dude. I mean, I think this was more the riskier movies for Bong Joon-ho. And I don't know, man. I mean, I guess we'll get into it in terms of the plot line. You know, it is an original movie, as Ho typically has. You know, kind of an original story, focuses on that storytelling, and uses, you know, some kind of crazy camera techniques, I guess, to show that story. Which, you know, again, I mean, Parasite was a great movie. It had a lot of focuses, the political tones, the underlying themes, the societal questions brought up through his story. You know, it's a lot to unpack and go into, which is why Parasite won Best Movie, because it was worth winning Best Movie. But this one is a sci-fi comedy, is it labeled as. I think it was lacking a little bit of the comedy, in my opinion, but Robert Pattinson plays this man, and his job title is what's referred to as an expendable. And basically, he lives in this world, which is, I guess, supposed to be dystopian, utopian. In any case, you know, I guess like Earth isn't really that inhabitable anymore. It's not great. We're leaning towards another step towards like having to get the fuck off the planet. And it kind of revolves around Mark Ruffalo's character. I guess I should bring up the character list here. Let's go, Mickey 17. So Mark Ruffalo's character, Marshall, what was it? Oh, it's Kenneth Marshall, okay? He plays this politician who just lost an election for America to be the president, by the way. Now his new campaign is to colonize this other planet. Let's go. We got to go. Earth is dust, okay, soon. Let's go colonize. So he recruits everyone. This is a big deal because he's still like a congressman, you know, after he lost the presidential election. So this is his kind of like get right spot, propel him to the next presidency sort of deal. And obviously there's a lot of tests and unknowns out there in space and on the new planet. So they have this specific job title called an expendable, and it utilizes technology, which is basically a machine in which you upload your brain to, okay, all your memories, whatever, your whole personality there on the hard drive, and it can print out your body basically after scanning you and then imprinting your. Basically, they can clone you after you die. They'll just regenerate, bang, 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 bang. And every week you get your mind uploaded again so you don't really miss anything. And this job is to go out there and test things. And obviously very dangerous, so you're an expendable person. If you die, they don't care. It's all for the research of the greater good of mankind. For example, they get to the planet. Can we breathe on the planet? Well, we don't know if we can breathe yet, so it's send out the expendable guy, Robert Pattinson, and hey, take your mask off, see if you can breathe. If you die, you die. If you don't, that's great, we can breathe. If you die, we'll just reprint you, whatever. You get the idea, okay? So that is basically the summary of the plot line in a nutshell on the surface, right? Again, you know, Bong Joon-ho does have a lot of underlying tones and societal themes and political commentary, if you will. But that is basically the main plot line, which is what I enjoy, to be honest, is the world he sets up for you in this movie. It is great. I mean, again, just like Parasite, I feel like I'm there, okay? And Robert Pattinson does a great job, and he actually plays a dual role here because there's a little bit of a mishap where they go to this planet, and Mickey here, okay, Mickey 17 at this point, is kind of like whatever, sitting around, he kind of falls, plane crash, whatever, and his buddy Timo, played by Steven Yeun, who's Glenn basically in The Walking Dead, he's like, oh, dude, you're about to die. I'm just going to leave you here. They'll reprint you. He's kind of a dick. He's the whole reason why they're in that whole jumble of getting there, which is honestly insignificant a little bit, at least to the plot line. So he leaves. Mickey's like, oh, damn. And then there's like these creatures that inhabit the planet, and they look like they're about to eat him. Like, damn, I'm going to die like this. But they actually like get him out of there. And he's like, oh, damn, they saved me. He goes back to home base. But in the meantime, they're like, yo, Mickey died. Let's print another one, dude. Little did they know that Mickey 17 was still out there. And now Mickey 18 and 17 exist together in tandem, which is bad because, of course, again, to go back to the, political undertones and morale questions that are brought up here, they touch upon that. Like this cloning system, like we should regulate it, okay? It seems like it could be abused and bad things could happen. So rule number one, no multiples, okay? If there's ever two of the same person, we just fucking kill them. Don't even just kill one, keep one alive. Just kill both of them, and we never talk about it again. Okay, so you can imagine now that is Robert Pattinson's conundrum going forward in the plot, right? He can't really be like, yo, there's two of me. This is sick, dude. It's like, damn, like we're both going to die if we're found out, And at this point of the movie, again, the movie is 2 hours and 20 minutes, some odd. So it's like, I don't know. I mean, it could be shorter. Some things are really drawn out and such, which is fine, I guess. But again, like I get 2 hours in, I'm like literally looking at my watch in the theater, like, damn, bro. Like I could cut this down by 20 minutes. And I feel bad for saying that because I feel like I've been saying that about things I've been watching for the past like 3 weeks here on the show. But that just might be the reality of the situation. I don't really have any control over reality, I guess. Kind of wish I did. But anyway, this is where the movie started to like give me some issues here. Because first of all, Mickey 18 is like the opposite of what Mickey 17 is about. Mickey 17 is kind of nice, reserved, quiet, also dumb, naive, whatever. And then Mickey 18 comes out and he's like the alpha male, the commander. And also a psychopath. He just wants to fucking kill people. But like up until that point of the movie, that wasn't really necessarily said. It wasn't established. Okay. And of course, just when Mickey 18 is printed, they're like, oh man, you're like the more aggressive Mickey. They say that the last Mickey and the Mickey before that was like, so, and then you kind of unpack a little bit. Oh, okay, each Mickey is different. But knock your beer over. Don't though, because ball control. All right. But like they did the whole montage of Mickey 1 through 16. Like that was the quick, like, let me show you how this thing works montage of this universe. All the Mickeys dying quick. And they were all the same Mickey. So they kind of established, they should have established at that point in the story that the Mickeys were different. Okay. And that kind of bothered me. The little things here. This guy is an Oscar-winning director, best movie. All right. I expect a lot from him. All right, this is a highly touted movie. I'm holding him to this high standard, which is why I'm splitting hairs here. All right. So that kind of annoyed me. Okay. And then from then on, we just kind of get into this conundrum here. He's got a love interest who is down with the threesome at first, but then of course he gets, thwarted because his other chick walks in because everyone's obsessed with Mickey, by the way. Everyone wants to hang out and be in love with Mickey. Even the little scientist chick assistant has like weird fuck me vibes with Mickey, which is fine, good for Mickey. But at this point, it's just like, and we're like an hour and a half in, by the way, at this point, where we're starting to unpack like how there's two of them, how they can work together, and how this political character played by Mark Ruffalo, Kenneth Marshall, just to confirm that was his name. Yes, Kenneth Marshall, who, by the way, dude, is like a carbon copy of Donald Trump. I will say that, again, we've known, Bong Joon-ho, his movies, underlying themes, this one political, and Mark Ruffalo plays basically Donald Trump, okay? I'm not going to lie, like, it's not even just because whatever, dude, just his mannerisms off the get-go, you can tell. Even the way he holds a microphone, right? You watch any debate of Donald Trump, to be honest, when he's holding the microphone, like his pinky's out, all right? And Donald Trump, or Mark Ruffalo, excuse me, is doing the same thing in this movie, and he's got the lips and kind of while he's talking, which is fine. But then, of course, like that's the question brought up to Bong Joon-ho interview, and he goes, well, I think it's really more of the audience that slaps that, whoever they equate it with the audience. Obviously, Americans are going to be like, yo, this guy looks like Donald Trump because that's been in their face, the election, Trump, whatever. Other countries could, equate them to other dictators. The whole purpose was that he was a dictator, kind of an evil, corrupt politician. And Mark, grabbed from multiple different politicians and corrupt. And I say bullshit, okay, honestly, because, like, first of all, what proof of that is there? Where, I can go to Taiwan, theaters, and the Taiwanese people were like, yo, this reminds me of whoever, okay? Or if I go to China, this reminds me of Ho Chi Minh. Ho Chi Minh? Ho Chi Minh sounds about right. So, and also Mark Ruffalo is like a pretty outspoken like anti-Trump guy. So, but again, that was like, to me, again, if you draw inspiration from something, that's fine, I guess. But personally, that was annoying, because a lot of these things that are spoke about during the movie, like political corruption, colonization, by the way, too, like they're inhabiting this planet and there's a life form there that they want to kill automatically because they think it's a danger to them, and people have to be like, yo, these dudes just live here. Okay, they're not necessarily a threat. Why? So the whole, like, obviously you think of, again, maybe just American, but again, like, Native Americans stealing the land, taking it back, giving it to them, whatever, dude. Like, those themes are pretty strong through the movie, which to me, I mean, it's fine that he does that, I guess, but where I think Bong Joon-ho goes wrong is that he has too many themes wrapped up into one film, okay? Because I mentioned, like, the political corruption, cloning ethics, religion's brought into this as well, because that's a big debate, and the cloning debate is religion playing God sort of deal, the political tones here, colonization, class disparity as well, because, Kenneth Marshall is living a great life on this ship to colonize this new planet, and everyone else has to ration their food and that type of shit, and there's a clean disparity. He has banquets and whatnot, but it's just too many things going on in this movie. That's the problem, okay? And also for me, too many things that are a little bit too close to home. That may be personal to me, but it's almost like Bong Joon-ho has this great talent of bringing you into his movies, into the world he's creating, and that's what he did with the whole sci-fi colonizing a planet. But then all the undertones, just he took me to a new planet, and then with all those undertones to the plot, he made me feel like I was still right at home at the same time. Which again, kind of I lost interest in the film because of that, dude. It didn't really take me away far enough, dude. And I feel like because of all these different undertones to the plot, it was just a lot going on for him. All right. I forget what interview, but I believe it was with Robert Pattinson. And he was like, yeah, I was editing with Ho. And he was like, yeah, this is like, no one can do this. This is like a miracle I'm getting together. And that's not like, that's cool. And it's phenomenal that you were able to create this movie out of that problem. You problem solved your way to a solid feature film here. But I mean, that's not what you want to hear in the edit room. Like, obviously there's probably some things maybe you yourself were like, yo, this is probably too much to tell in 2 hours and 20 minutes, and who knows what the final cut was originally. Probably was longer, I would imagine. I mean, directors are always cutting out things, post edit and whatnot. So, obviously I give him credit. He does tell a good story, puts you in that world, but I think he just was trying too hard, and I think a lot of that is indicative in apparent in the budget, in the storyline. He has this movie Parasite, and it's, you see it all the time with directors. It's not like anything bad. You see it in any point, even in athletes and sports where you perform at a really high level, you win a championship, following year, you're kind of in a slump, and this is what that is. It's like you had a movie that won Best Picture, and then your follow-up just, obviously isn't going to be at that standard, which is really hard to achieve. And I mean, for at the end of the day, you did put out a solid feature film, an original idea for the most, at least the idea, the plot was original, even though it's based on a book here. But still, haven't really seen this necessarily before. So it's a cool idea, but I think it was just tough to execute. And, Robert Pattinson did a good job in terms of the acting. Anyone else in there was really not anyone of note, I suppose. But it was cool to see Robert Pattinson, act. I mean, there were some scenes where I thought were kind of tough, but maybe it was the writing. I don't know, dude. I've seen Robert Pattinson act better, to be honest. I think as Batman, he was better. In The King, he was better. What's that other movie where he's that bleach blonde drug dealer? I forget. Day something. I don't remember. But you know, it was a solid flick, dude. I don't want to spoil, I guess, the whole movie for you guys because it did come out on Thursday. It's only Friday here, but how would I rate it out of 10? Let's say, you know, 5 being unwatchable. I would rate this close to a 7.3. Let's say 7.4, 7.3. We'll say. I'll call it 7.4. 7.4. Fuck you. You know, it was good. It was good. It'll get you through the day. It was a little bit too long. And a lot of, you know, again, just things that were thrown at you that just felt like they were thrown at you for the sake of, oh, this will be good for the viewer and whatnot, dude. So, you know, obviously, you know, you do with it what you will. It's a movie again, like it's a risk. It's a sci-fi risk. The comedy wasn't really necessarily there for me. Wow, Marco commenting, by the way, on Instagram. What a clown, he says, laughing. It's funny, Marco. Tommy Donovan says he watches The Departed on cable Wednesday night. Not the same edited. No, certainly not, dude. Certainly not, dude. So, you know, interesting to see kind of what happens, I guess, to Bong Joon-ho and Robert Pattinson. So Robert Pattinson has quite a few movies coming out this year, right? Batman being one of them, some other love movie, romance movie with Jennifer Lawrence, I believe. So I don't know. I have high hopes for him. I have high hopes for the Batman as well. So we'll see what happens. Marco, I hope you're out of timeout by now because it's, you know, it's 8:22. I'd probably put you timeout, I don't know, around 5 after 8. I don't know. In any case, dude, you know, feel free to call and let me know what you think if you've seen Mickey 17. And I would encourage you guys to go out there to the movies this weekend. Opening weekend, dude. You know? Why the hell not? You know what I mean? Batman isn't coming out this year. Script isn't even done yet. It's Michael Theophil. Got pushed back to 2026, maybe 2027 now. Yes, dude. And Robert Pattinson voiced his, I guess, disdain for this news, as in, what the fuck, I'm going to be old by the time this shit comes out, dude. That's right. I mean, he's not wrong. I mean, they got to fucking figure it out. You know, DC has lots of problems. Matt Reeves, I believe, is the creator of this Batman. He's got to figure some stuff out. Obviously, I'm sure not getting much support from James Gunn and DC, as they are not part of the DCU. So who knows what James Gunn's focus really is. I would imagine it's kind of hard to create, you know, stories around DC. I mean, I don't know. It probably won't even come out. Well, if you suck, you suck. Probably won't even come out. And he says, he's going to the same age as Ben Affleck when he did Batman. That's fine, because obviously, like, it worked in terms of age. And he's a way, way better actor than Ben Affleck. So, you can fucking suck it over there, dude. And that movie will come out, by the way. It's not going to not come out. That's ridiculous, dude. That is ridiculous. Okay, that movie's coming out. Batman Part 2. Gonna be sick, dude. Matt Reeves is a genius. I don't give a fuck. All right? It's gonna be great. That's right. It's a good shot. Just do the whole fucking show on that shot, dude, but I won't, because you a bitch. That's why. Bitches at home, dude. Ain't got no bitches at home, Michael. What was I gonna say now? I haven't heard from Marco in a little while, dude. I think he's probably tight that I put him in timeout, dude. It's all right. But in any case, what did I say? 7.4 for Mickey 17. Do with it what you will, and you know, take it with a grain of salt, dude. I don't think I have anything else I want to talk about. Oh yeah, the fucking cameraman did kind of piss me off that they introduced. He became, again, lazy storytelling, I feel. Like the cameraman for Mark Ruffalo's character just becomes like some type of influential guy to him for a second, like some chode. He's some weird cuck. Yeah, and everything's just been done before, confusing, not established, kind of made me chuckle. All right, that's it. Keith says, I heard that they had to do some shoots for Superman. If I remember the article correctly, it's been a crazy week. And then Michael says, Superman is going to tank, Keith. Sorry, I don't believe that. Keith says, shut up, Mike! And then Mike says, haha, sorry, buddy, I love you. He says, so nice to Keith he is, which is nice, dude. I think that Superman is going to be great, dude. I think it's going to be worth it. I think Nicholas Hoult is going to be a great Lex Luthor. And I think the guy who plays, what's his name, David Cornsweat, he could be probably a weak link here, which would be tough because he is Superman. But I'm trying to have high hopes. Michael says DTV will just need to take over DC and do it right. I guess Michael would probably cast himself as Superman, huh? I'll be Lex Luthor. I don't give a fuck. I'll be Lois Lane if you want me to. Keith says, do you really? It doesn't show. Ha ha. I think about loving Keith, I think is what he means. Sometimes I sip of this beer. You could be Superman, he says, I think to me. Definitely not to Keith, that's for sure. I'll be Batman. Yeah, dude. If you really want that, I guess that's fine. In any case, yeah, right, Keith? What? Keith wants to be Jimmy Olsen. I'll let him be Jimmy Olsen. You be everyone. You can be Lois Lane if I'm Superman. Ho-ho-ho! This is a great scene in Charlie's Angels Full Throttle. There's Pink making a little cameo right there. And the rules are, there are no rules, she says. I don't know how well you can see that on your monitor. Might be a little far away, but I'm watching Cameron Diaz just wax some poetic. And then she's going to go back to Lucy Liu and Drew Barrymore. They'll be like, yo, we ready for this fucking dirt bike race? And then there's this dude they need to grab and save. And you know who plays him? Shia LaBeouf, dude. Like, get the fuck out of my face, honestly. Michael Theophil, Keith would be an extra on the side of the road. Damn, dude. Keith is laughing, but actually he's crying inside because he doesn't want to be an extra on the side of the road. He wants to be Jimmy Olsen, dude. So, whatever, dude. Oh, I see. I fucked that up. I just watched it back. I thought I had it, but I guess I hit the wrong button. That's all right, dude. All right, I actually have to pull up our trailer. I totally forgot, dude. My apologies, dude. Bang! Let's go the studio. So this is actually, I'm kind of hyped for this trailer we'll be watching. Released, I don't know, about 10 hours ago, dude. This is an original show on Apple Plus here, which I have, by the way. I've actually recently got. I think it comes with like my Apple Music stuff. Doesn't really matter though. But the studio starring Seth Rogen, comedy, Apple Plus, dude. So I mean, I guess let me do that, dude. How about that? Yeah, dude, that's a good one. Let's take a look here.
I am so excited about watching this trailer. This is gonna be perfect.
Can we dim the lights? I got a meeting after this.
Being the head of Continental is the only job I've ever wanted. Yeah, I'm honored, obviously, to be one of the people that gets to choose, which movies get made and which ones don't. That's huge. And I got into all this because, I love movies, but now I have this fear that my job is to ruin them.
The job is a meat grinder.
Prestige films and box office hits, those are not mutually exclusive. We can do both and we will do both.
Matt, I get it. You want to make great art and make $1 billion doing it. Well, guess what? That never happens, and you're going to screw everything up trying to make it happen.
If it was up to me, we'd be focusing on making the next Rosemary's Baby or Annie Hall or some great film that wasn't directed by a pervert.
Turns out perverts make great movies.
They really do.
Well, lay low, okay? There's zero margin for error on this shot.
Action, please.
Greta, I actually want to talk to you about awards season. Just make sure you keep your winter clear. We have
Okay, Matt.
This job is just so much harder than I thought it was going to be.
Matt.
What up, Matt? Everyone wants something from me, and I can't give it to them.
If you guys are actually open to doing something different, I have a lot of ideas.
We love new ideas.
Just not too new, because we got a pretty tight formula that we got to hit.
I wouldn't say it's a formula so much as a structure that we 100% know works, so we're going to do it over and over again.
Fine is not good enough.
This is racist.
You want to bring down the studio?
Why didn't you shut this party down?
Why do you keep lying?
What is wrong with you?
The job makes you stressed and panicked and miserable. But when it all comes together and you make a good movie, it's good forever.
Well, you're gonna get us all fired.
I mean, Michael says it right here, dude, and I should really take off there. That's what I should probably say at that point. But Michael said it right here, dude. Seth Rogen back with another banger. And I think that Michael's right, to be honest. Seth Rogen comes in here. It's interesting to see, as you know, we've had Superbad on the TV behind me for a couple of weeks. I kind of grew up where, I guess when I was kind of, I suppose, hitting puberty, like Seth Rogen movies were popular, I guess. Because I grew up, I watched Freaks and Geeks. That was huge. Superbad, Knocked Up, Pineapple Express, just to name a few, by the way. So I've kind of lived in a world, at least my young adult life, in a world where Seth Rogen didn't exist, and to see him kind of mature as an adult and also in his movies is pretty interesting. He's had some good roles, that's some serious roles. You think of Funny People. Obviously this role right here looks a little bit more serious with some comedic undertones. And I think it works really well. He's a guy who aged really well in Hollywood, and I think this show should be pretty good. And you've seen some of the supporting cast, Catherine O'Hara, Catherine Hahn, right, as well, a bunch of other Catherine. You saw Martin Scorsese in there for a hot minute. I mean, I think it's going to be a really cool show about, movie making. That's what he is. He's a Hollywood producer, and he's talking about making the next Rosemary's Baby or Annie Hall sort of deal, like, obviously referencing significant, pop culture films that changed culture for the better. So I think that's a great way. I'm sure there'll be a lot of homages to said films. And, honestly, I'm pretty stoked about this show. It comes out March 26th, so end of the month, right around Renee's birthday, it'll be coming out. So that'd be kind of cool. Apple Plus, watch it, give it a good time. It seems like it could be something that's on HBO, to be honest. It reminds me of like an HBO show. And I think it kind of had that quality to it. A lot of shots I saw in the trailer that were wide angle, kind of close up, showing how big Seth Rogen could look, kind of on your screen. So kind of a lot of hype I think I would bring to this show, and I have some high expectations for it. So I hope it is good. As Keith comes in here throwing lefts and rights haymakers, dude. I can't stand Seth Rogen. I like the show, The Boys, but that's about it. So you don't like Pineapple Express, This Is the End, Knocked Up. Come on, dude. Those are great films. Funny People. Sausage Party was kind of weird. Wow, Keith, what? Says Michael. I can't believe that. Keith then follows up with maybe as an actor, I can't stand him, but behind the camera, not bad. The Interview, him and James Franco, so fucking good, dude. I don't know. I have a lot of high hopes for this movie right here, dude. And I would implore you guys to get on Apple Plus and watch it come the end of March. So, we'll kind of see what happens. And there's actually another trailer that I wanted to, I guess, talk about, which came out today, by the way. This is the latest Thunderbolts teaser. And honestly, at this point, I kind of like showing them because it's pretty fucking funny. I feel like every other week there's like a new Thunderbolts teaser coming out, dude. And Florence Pugh I really can get enough of, to be honest. See, this is an hour ago. All right, so this is Marvel Entertainment 1 hour ago. All right. Yeah, why not, dude? Yeah, dude, she's great, dude. And I first saw her in summer, to be honest. And she was phenomenal in it. Florence Pugh, obviously saw her in shut the fuck up, Keith. Shut the fuck up, dude. Punch a dog. You think you're funny, dude? No, that is kind of funny. I mean, I can see how his voice is annoying. That didn't really sound like him that much. That kind of sounded like the Slug from Monsters, Inc. Mike Wazowski. I don't know. I know that these Coronas are damn fine. Damn fine. Just like Florence Pugh. Let's watch this trailer, dude. Thunderbolts.
There's something wrong.
Avengers are not coming, who will keep people safe?
Yes! Yeah!
Forgot to unmute myself. So now, normally I would be kind of tight. Again, like I was saying before, that there's been so many teasers out for this movie, which there has been. Like I was joked before. I mean, at least once a month for the past like 5 months, I feel there's been a teaser out for Thunderbolts. But I'm not gonna lie, like every single one kind of shows something a little bit different, and I think it's gonna be a good movie. To be honest, comes out May 2nd, I believe, in theaters to start your summer off. And again, I mean, you saw, some of the names that were attached to people who made Midsummer, composers of Everything Everywhere at Once, attached to big names. I think this could be a great movie for Marvel. And again, I mean, I think the acting is going to be pretty top notch. The guy from Stranger Things, Harbaugh over there, who fucking canned at Hellboy. I remember watching that movie. It fucking sucked. But I'm trying to be positive and say he'll be a better Red Guardian, which I know he was from the Black Widow movie. He's been good, dude. And Florence Pugh, the sister, whatever, dude, she's great. I think, is Haley Steinfeld in there as well, right? I mean, it has a solid cast. Julia Louis-Dreyfus seems to be some type of president, okay? You have Sebastian Stan in there as Winter Soldier. Where? Is it pre-Brave and the Bold? Not Brave and the Bold. Brave New World? Post Captain America. I hope so. Maybe he can redeem himself a little bit after that, dude. And then Michael's in here, says, ha, 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 Tony's girl. Marco says Keith. And then Michael says, actually, two of Tony's girls. Is Steinfeld the other one? I don't know, dude. And then, or Louis Dreyfus, Elaine. Elaine is great. I mean, she looks phenomenal, dude. I was a big fan of her. Veep, great show. Emmy Award winning. What's up, dude? If you haven't watched it, HBO Max, check it out. It's so fucking good, dude. But in any case, I don't know. I'm hyped for the movie, dude. I think it's gonna be a really good summer blockbuster. And again, I could be tight about all these trailers, but every time I see one, it gets me hyped to see the movie. So, I think that was pretty well made. No, the chick from Seinfeld, and then the blonde main chick. Yeah, so Elaine and Florence Pugh. So I'm just watching a little bit of Willy Wonka in here. Never get enough of this. And you'll see. Come with me, a world of pure imagination. I mean, what a fucking movie, dude. I mean, never be topped. I haven't seen the Timothée Chalamet one, but if I had to guess, I mean, I didn't hear great things about it. But I mean, again, just based by the Johnny Depp one, which wasn't that great. I mean, how could the Chalamet one be that great? In any case, that was your Thunderbolts teaser, which, again, take it with a grain of salt. I know Marvel could be on some people's shit lists. It's kind of on mine a little bit. But I'm hyped for Phase 4. Is that what we're in? Because, again, this summer, Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four, dude. I mean, I think they're going to be pulling a lot of good movies out this summer. So I'm trying to be positive, just in general with life. And then I guess we can do it, dude. Let's just shut the fuck up, Michael. Rapid fire news segment. Let's get into it, dude. And of course, this segment of rapid fire news is brought to you by Beef Octane. More than just beef jerky. Go to beefoctane.com, their website, dude. And anything you check out, discount code Downtime TV, 10% off, dude. They got beef jerky, turkey jerky, bacon jerky, whatever you want. It's all delicious. Check it out. Connecticut owned company, local, good people. Met them, spoke to them, ate their jerky, enjoyed the jerky. 10% off, dude. Okay. In any case, dude, rapid fighters. First up, dude, Black Bag. Let's go. This comes out next weekend, by the way, okay? Steven Soderbergh directs Cate Blanchett and fucking what's his name? Michael Fassbender in a Mr. and Mrs. Smith, maybe even more violent, better movie, dude. And it has premiered 96% on Rotten Tomatoes. The critics have given it that the best score for a movie directed by Soderbergh since the 1989 movie Sex, Lies, and Videotape, which basically describes my Friday nights. Okay, dude. But no, really, this movie looks so fucking sick. I'm pumped to see it next week. I think it's definitely worth being on the Rapid Fire News. Soderbergh, great director. He did many things. I'm blanking on the other ones that he made, but obviously the Ocean series is the big one that stands out. I think maybe he did American Hustle. I kind of forget. In any case, dude, Black Bag is going to be sick. I don't care what anyone else says. Next up, Honora. This movie obviously just won Best Picture of the Year. What's his face took home Sean Baker a bunch of awards, 4 for the same movie, most ever, tied Walt Disney for the most in general for one night, dude. It's been reported that they spent $18 million on marketing specifically for the Oscars, to win an Oscar. So we're not just marketing things to people like you and I, marketing people who are noted as people who vote for the Oscars in the area in which people would vote for the Oscars, whatever. Because it's funny, because obviously Manny said it last week too, or on Tuesday, like, where the fuck did this movie come from? It says all their marketing went to specific areas to target Oscar winners, or Oscar voters, I should say. And obviously this movie took home the most awards. So it's causing a lot of discussion. $18 million is a lot. FYI, this movie had a $6 million budget. So 3 times that budget was spent on marketing this movie, which again, you could say, oh, like that's fucked up, but also at the same time, like any other big budget movie could do this, right? So Dune could have done it, which they didn't. I think they spent the most money on marketing specifically for the Oscars out of any other movie this year. That could be wrong, but that's what I read, unconfirmed, okay? And it's funny because even after it, like, it made, I think, close to $40 million, $38 million up until the Oscars. After the Oscars, out of nowhere, theater jump to $43 million. So again, clearly, you know, their marketing evidently was targeted towards specific groups. Because again, to go back to what Manny said, like, where have we been? Where are we, dude? Like, where is this? Exactly. I only heard about it by winning the Oscars, which many other people have. Hence the uptick in box office. Okay, dude. But again, this poses a good question. You know, people seem to be upset, but again, I mean, they played it smart, small budget movie, and the movie wasn't bad. You know, Mickey won Best Actress for a reason. I don't think necessarily, you know, I'll say it again, like Demi Moore didn't really need to get it, dude. As we have a couple comments from Manny, actually. Manny says, beefy. Sorry, I'm not there right now, homie. Literally up in the air right now, dude. Don't even fret, dog. And then he says, fuck Honora for that shit. Of course he is, though. He's a champion. Tony is crushing it. That's what he was alluding it to, Michael said. And then he also says, we miss you, Manny. And then Manny says, yeah, I said that. That's what I said. Exactly, dude. So, I mean, again, like what you said, Manny, turned out to be true, dude. Like people, obviously it wasn't marketed great towards the general public because a bunch of people after the Oscars started seeing the movie, which I guess is maybe answered our question in terms of where this movie come from. Well, the whole time they were marketing towards specific areas of Oscar voters, which Manny and I are not. How do you become one? I have no idea, dude. But it obviously causes for a lot of good discussion. Which I'm sure we'll continue to do, as sure as many other movies will probably now try to imitate maybe, you know, their outline for trying to win mad Oscars, right? I mean, if I'm any other movie, I'll be like, oh, maybe I should market towards the Oscar voters instead of general public. But, I mean, again, that's just, I guess, what they want to do because they're a smaller budget movie. They can probably do that. I just go for the award, go for the fame as opposed to the box office numbers, whereas Marvel, big budget movies are just go for the numbers, the money, greed, dollar signs. So, I mean, any way you spin it could be good or bad for Honora having this information out there. So it's up to you to decide. New Harry Potter castings. That's what I wanted to do next, dude. Should be pretty interesting here as we have Severus Snape has been casted by an English actor called Papa Isidu. Okay. And obviously a little bit of an uproar in terms of his casting because he is nothing like Alan Rickman in terms of acting, in terms of looks and stuff like that. And obviously, Severus Snape here, or did I fall?
People will think you're up to something.
Alan Rickman delivering a very memorable performance as Severus Snape, and who, as someone who's watched the entire saga Harry Potter here, starts out, not that he's never not an important character, but becomes way more of an important character as the movies go on. You're talking about 6, 7, and 8, dude.
People will think you're up to something.
And Rickman just absolutely kills it the entire time. So, it's, in general, redoing the Harry Potter saga as a show, I mean, it's going to be tough, dude, because that, again, to kind of go back to growing up with Seth Rogen, I grew up with the Harry Potter series. I grew up with that. As they got older and released the older ones, I got older and understood the older ones. So for a huge fan base, not to mention the fact that it came from books, had a massive fan base already, dude, huge, whatever, you have such large shoes to fill to try and remake this show, which almost seems impossible as it is. So, I mean, I'm trying to take things that I hear about this show with a grain of salt because it also has Janet McTeer could also be Professor McGonagall. Unconfirmed, I think, as of before the show. But it seems that they have Severus Snape and McGonagall down, which, again, pivotal characters throughout the entire saga. So, again, big shoes to fill. And like I was saying, it seems like a task like this seems like it's not attainable, And anyone you cast, no matter what they look like or what their acting resume looks like, they're going to be ridiculed. They're going to be criticized, and they're probably going to be written off the get-go.
People will think you're up to something.
Right? It kind of seems like they are. Like, we just want to make more money. We don't really care necessarily. But you hope the product is good for Harry Potter. I mean, the saga deserves it. And not for nothing, I think a show, obviously revolved around the books is pretty huge, dude. It gives a chance for the Harry Potter universe to go more in depth, and to be more possibly book accurate, I guess, or just to add to the storylines. My headphones are falling off, dude.
People will think you're up to something.
But I mean, again, I guess time will tell. I mean, you really can't, I guess, judge things now because I looked up some of these actors, and I mean, they're some nobodies, Manny, by the way, says easier to distribute if it has all the damn awards. Yeah, that's for sure. That is for sure. And again, I mean, if Manny was here, I'm sure maybe he can go into a little bit more of the just industry aspects of taking out that much money for marketing for the Oscars. But in any case, dude, we'll kind of see what happens. It still is a solid movie. Given the pool of movies that we were looking at, again, we said it on Tuesday, maybe The Brutalist, but we still have to see it. So, still see it nor if you want to, and obviously still be hyped about the Harry Potter series because I still am. I still have high hopes for him. We'll kind of see what happens how things unpack, dude. But now that'll be it for the
I said word. Ain't never told no lie.
Rapid fire news. That's right, just like that, dude. A little quick 1-2 punch for rapid fire, dude. And then I guess we can get onto our YouTube video of the day now. This is a new segment which we've been doing a couple times here, and I gotta say, I had a little bit of trouble, honestly, picking between a few videos that I watched on YouTube. But I gotta say, if there's one that I really want to highlight, it's not this one, dude. Shut the fuck up, stupid fucking. Yeah, dude. It's this one right here. This is my YouTube video of the day. Bang. Okay. This is a Hot Ones episode. I'm gonna run you for 20 minutes. Okay. Michael says, great segment. Thank you. So again, it took me a little while to find, not to find this one, but pick this one. This one came out yesterday, I believe. So Bill Murray on Hot Ones, a 20-minute episode. And I mean, it's just great, to be honest. Obviously, Hot Ones is a great show in general. Sean, what's his face? I forget his last name. Does a phenomenal job interviewing, and the concept of Hot Ones is just so smart. Obviously in a time where, interviews has been something that's just so standard, I guess, to, conduct an interview in a different situation, in this case, while eating hot wings that increase with spiciness as each one you do. It's such a cool idea for a show, which is obviously evident in the popularity of it. But this one kind of hits close with Bill Murray. Obviously this guy has such an outstanding career as a comedian, okay? SNL, Ghostbusters, Caddyshack, Groundhog Day, and that's just not even scratching the surface, to be honest, dude. And obviously, I don't know why I keep saying obviously, but he was probably most recently in that Super Bowl commercial, Email Me, whatever. I'm sure all the kids that have never heard of him have seen him now for the first time. Anyway, dude, not to sound like that guy, having him on Hot Ones, again, Sean does a great job for interviewing. So, when you talk to someone as, I guess, experienced as Bill Murray, there's so many different things you can pull from his brain that you just wouldn't ordinarily hear, life lessons, anecdotes, just anything really. And his just demeanor, I mean, the guy's obviously successful. He's somewhat of a great person, has been a hard guy to work with on set, but that's because he's trying to achieve something that no one else really does, So you can understand, the pressure there that he's faced throughout his career. And then now to be able to pick his brain in a scenario, Osmosis Jones. Yeah, there's another one, Michael. Good job there. That has had all those experience and can speak from experience and life lessons and whatnot. I mean, you can probably sit down for the guy for hours and not even touch upon his acting career. That's the type of person he is. And he's on the show promoting a new movie with Pete Davidson. I forget what it was called, Fuzz something. It doesn't really matter. But they bring Pete Davidson on, and there's some questions that are easy with funny anecdotes that he gives a great story to. There are some questions that'll have more of a deeper answer and thought to it. And again, all while going through these hot wings. So it's really a great 20 minutes of your time. That's also what's great about hot wings as well, is that, like, I mean, it's not so much even about the interview as it is about just watching this person experience spicy wings. It's a quick 20 minutes. They cut it down. They really have just the most important bits of it. And it's just, there's nothing. It's just a simple shoot, dude. Clean. And it's just Bill Murray. It's focusing on the subject you have in front of you, which is great. There's no fancy things, graphics, whatnot that take away from what you're trying to focus on, your subject. So in this 20 minutes, it's hyper-focused on Bill Murray. You're just so entranced in what he's talking about, dude, that I think it deserves the YouTube video of the day. And it just came out. So it's relatively new. Check it out if you have it on YouTube. What the hell is there? No. What the hell is there? First We Feast is the YouTube channel. And I mean, obviously, resume speaks for itself. Bill Murray, everybody. Let's fucking go, dude. Bang! I'm working on the YouTube video of the day bite, YouTube video of the day. Something like that, dude. In any case, now, let's go to what is out this weekend, dude. And let's get this fucking rapid fire news segment out of here. So out this weekend, there's a few things out there. Again, obviously, Mickey 17, if you want to watch it. But there's one other thing out in theaters right now called In the Lost Lands. And this was the movie that I was kind of like debating seeing instead of Mickey 17. And this is a Dave Bautista, Mila Jovovich kind of zombie apocalypse, I guess, movie. So obviously Mila Jovovich, a veteran when it comes to these movies. Resident Evil saga is really all you can say there. Fifth Element as well, but still post-apocalyptic. It's all Resident Evil, and she kills it on that. And of course, Dave Bautista, who's been what's that movie with Dave Bautista? And it was supposed to have Chris D'Elia in it. Not in the army now, dead now, something like that. Doesn't really matter. Obviously, no amateur to action or zombie movies, Dave Bautista. So it seems like a good flick, and also a movie that wasn't really on my radar until yesterday, to be honest, until I looked it up, because I don't know, maybe it's a lower budget. They're just not really marketing for kind of, I guess, this movie. But that's out there in theaters. I think it's worth a watch. Listen to some interviews with Mila Jovovich and Dave Bautista, and they seem pretty hyped about it. So, also there's a Charles Manson documentary out there on Netflix, brand new, just released a few days ago. Seems like pretty top-notch hardcore, dude. But it's like one of those it's like the Ted Bundy unreleased tapes. It's interviews from back in the day and whatnot, and really kind of divulges all the information of Charles Manson. In case you didn't know, I know there's documentaries out there already about him. History Channel Originals, A&E, whatever spots. But this is a chance for you to understand a Netflix production of it, which is, I watched a little bit of the first episode. It's pretty solid. Again, it's a tough story to get through for sure, but it is well made, as Netflix typically does, dude. And that's pretty much what is out this weekend. At this point, dude, I don't really think anything else is out there. Again, next week is going to be what we're all hyped for, in terms of Black Bag. I'm stoked for that. And for next Tuesday, I'll be watching White Lotus on Sunday, I guess. Episode 4 we're coming up to, which I'm a little nervous about, not going to lie, because episodes 1, 2, and 3 have just been a little bit of a letdown in terms of just like progression and action and just keep me interested. I'm just being pulled along, kind of like if your buddy was like canoeing real smoothly through a river with really no current, and you're just kind of holding on in the water to the boat, to the canoe, and he was just kind of like slowly just like dragging you along. That's what the first 3 episodes of White Lotus kind of feel like to me. But again, the preview for 4 seems to be like pretty action packed. They're all on the same yacht, so I'm stoked for that. So we'll be coming at you on Tuesday with that. But in any other case, dude, I think that's pretty much all I have to talk about for today. I don't think I really missed anything. It's crazy, NHL trade deadline, but I don't talk about it here. Okay? I'll check my notes here. Oh yeah, I was gonna start Daredevil, the new series, the new season or whatever it is. But I don't know, man. I mean, not for nothing, I started the original Daredevil series in anticipation of the new one, and I didn't finish it. And then I looked up do I really have to finish it? And people were like, no, you don't. And then I started reading about the first episode, and I was like, it kind of seems like I kind of fucking do. So I didn't start the new series. So I'm going to continue the originals. I guess it was from Netflix, right? The original Daredevil series. Drink a Corona. Goddamn. Oh yeah, that's good. Getting kind of warm though, because I haven't. I'm not able to drink that much while I talk, dude. Maybe I should just stop talking. All right. Man, that was a good one. I think that's going to be about it on this Friday, dude. Great episode, tip top, clean cut, symmetrical, almost like what Mickey 17 should have been, but instead they added 30 minutes, which is tough, dude. But I want to thank everyone in here for tuning in. I had a great time here in this episode of Binge Buddies, a great little Friday. I hope everyone goes out there, really enjoys their weekend, treat everyone in a nice manner. That would be probably good. And A lot of hockey this weekend. A lot of movies out there to watch. A lot of shows to watch. I've still been ripping Home Improvement at home. Netflix. I mean, there's so much going on there. Tim Taylor, you can really learn a lot from him. Not to mention, howdy ho there, neighbor. You know, his neighbor. Why am I blanking on his name? Not Al. Wilson. Pretty sure it's Wilson. A couple of comments on the way out here. Probably just people. Michael says, great show. Keith says, awesome show. Thanks, Keith. I miss you, bud. Can't wait till the next time I see you, dude. Not for nothing, dude. Josh B has been in studio recently. Keith has not. Last time Keith was here, he slept on my couch. Okay? Boy, was that a crazy night. Am I right, dude? I mean, whoa. But I hope you guys go out there and enjoy your weekend. Like I said, try and watch something on Tuesday. 8 p.m. We'll be back for Binge Buddies. Come talk about it. Phone lines are always open and ready to go. My mother says, very impressive, Anthony. Thanks, Mom. My mother was probably relaxing after a hard day of work. Excited to see her this weekend as well. But in any case, if you're new here, my mother says good insights. Thank you, Mom. I feel like my mother probably would not have liked Mickey 17. But my mother should still see The Substance with Demi Moore. I don't think she's seen that yet. Oscar movie. You should definitely see it. Keith says, miss you guys too. I'm working on getting over that nasty stomach bug. Well, dude, pop a Pepto and get over here. All right. I do care. Shut up, Mike. Wow. He says Keith doesn't care. Mike says, what about me? Mike's right next door, so it's not like, Keith is in the Poconos or anything, In any case, if you're new here, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Downtime TV. Follow us on YouTube if you prefer that. Follow us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram if you prefer that, or Facebook, or Twitter, or Twitch, or LinkedIn, dude. We're on LinkedIn as well. So don't forget about that. And like I said, dude, hit the notifications button as well. I don't really know else. Enjoy the weekend. We'll be back here Monday for Sports Port, 10 a.m., recapping a great sports weekend. Tuesday, Binge Buddies, as per usual. I believe Manny will be in sight. But everyone have a great weekend and enjoy the movies.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.